Recently, I beat my first ever Nuzlocke and really enjoyed it. A Nuzlocke is a different style of Pokemon game, where you can only catch one Pokemon per route. You have to nickname each Pokemon to grow more attached to it, and if it faints, it dies and can't be used again. So today, I decided to play through a region I've never played through before. Luckily, there's one region I had in mind, Johto. I don't know how I've gone nearly 20 years without playing a Johto game, and decided on Soul Silver due to its wider pool of Pokemon and faster gameplay. With that out of the way, here's the story of my Pokemon Soul Silver Nuzlocke. I woke up in New Barktown and rushed to Professor Elm to get my starter Pokemon. He asked me to go to Mr. Pokemon's house and gives me a Cyndaquil named Tofu. We encounter a few Pokemon, but I can't catch any yet, so I don't think they count. At Mr. Pokemon's house, we run into Professor Oak, who gives us a Pokedex and rushes off to Goldenrod. Mr. Pokemon gives us a mysterious egg, and as we leave his house, Professor Elm calls and tells us that he's been robbed. On our way to babysit the grown adult with wife and child, we have our first rival battle. After Tofu murders his Totodile, he runs away and drops his trainer card. I was gonna name him after someone who I hate, but decided to stick with the boring default name. We give Elm the egg and run off to catch our first few encounters. Muffin the Centret, Zingerbox the Pidgey, Noodle the Weedle, and Pain the Rattata. I named him Pain due to the pain he caused me by nearly killing Tofu. I made my way to Violet City to challenge the first gym leader, but the gym staff told me I had to level up my Pokemon in Sprout Tower. I made my way up Sprout Tower where I caught Bruce the Ghastly. At the top of the tower, Zingerbox and Noodle teamed up to beat an old man and his plants. Next up was Faulkner. His Pidgey went down easily, but his Pidgeotto is notorious for spamming Roost. I had to switch to Bruce to put Pidgeotto to sleep, and I cleaned up with Tofu, who got a crucial burn. Faulkner gave us the Zephyr badge and suggested we make our way to Azalea Town where the second gym was located. Elm called us again and told us to pick up the egg from the Pokemart in Violet City. We rushed to Azalea Town, catching Fluffy the Mareep and Chomps the Zubat on our way. When we arrive in Azalea Town, it seems like it has been overrun with Team Rocket grunts, and people are reporting that someone has been selling Slowpoke tails. So we rush to the old man Kurt, who runs off to save the Slowpoke from further harm. We follow Kurt into Slowpoke Well, and he falls off a ladder, injuring his back. Deeper within the cave, we find Proton, a Team Rocket executive, and Muffin manages to take down his team. After putting Team Rocket's nefarious activities to rest, we are ready to take on Bugsy. Bugsy is usually a pushover when you pick Cyndaquil, but I led with Zingerbox, and I don't know if I can put into words what happened, so I'll just play the clip. Oh shit. Oh, Noodle. Yeah, I somehow nearly wiped to Bugsy, but luckily, Tofu pulled through and cleaned up the battle, earning us our second gym badge. As we leave Azalea Town, our rival challenges us to a battle and we sweep his whole team. In Ilex Forest, a man asks us to catch his boss's Farfetch'd. I caught the first one pretty easily and spent way too much time catching the second one. Upon realizing I'm an idiot, we return the Farfetch'd and he gives us the HM for cut. Further into the forest, Toothpaste the Togepi hatched from its egg, and I met a man who taught Muffin Headbutt, which I promptly used to catch Chad the female Heracross. On Route 34, we caught Demon the Drowsy and entered Goldenrod to challenge Whitney and her Miltank. Whitney's Miltank is notoriously strong. It has Rollout to hit all flying, ice, and fire types for super effective damage, and also Stomp. Stomp has a chance to flinch your Pokemon, making them not able to move for that turn. To add on to it, Milk Drink allows Whitney to heal her Miltank. That's already strong, but Whitney's Miltank is female and has the move Attract. Attract makes Pokemon of the opposite gender have a 50% chance to not attack, and 9 times out of 10, your starter is male. So I knew I might have to make some sacrifices if I wanted to make it out alive. Whilst battling gym trainers, Tofu reached level 20 and was therefore not able to battle due to the level cap, which is fine because he wasn't going to be able to do too much. Now it's time to challenge Whitney. I lead with Chad and one-shot her Clefairy. Then out comes her Miltank. As previously discussed, this Pokemon is insanely strong, so I know I'm gonna Oh, never mind, it's dead. I'm lucky Chad is a female because dealing with Attract is not something that I wanted to do. Whitney is a crybaby and refuses to give us her gym badge, so while she's not looking, I snatch it out of her hands and run away. Next to the gym, I obtain the Squirt Bottle, letting me move Sudowoodo back on Route 36. On my way to Ecruteak, I caught Raru the Hoot Hoot and Mars the Nidoran. I reached Ecruteak and realized how beautiful the music was, and now I'm forcing you to listen to it. Further north in Ecruteak is the Burnt Tower, where we fought our rival and met the 3 legendary beasts. Suicune apparently took note of my presence, so I caught the Koffing that was nearby and promptly named him Suicune. We had one more thing to do in Ecruteak, the gym battle. None of my Pokemon could really do anything against Morty's ghost types besides Drowsy and Ghastly, who were both weak to ghost type moves, so Chad stood up. She fought every single Pokemon in that gym with Aerial Ace. I stepped up to fight Morty and we locked eyes. There was no turning back now. Chad took out his Ghastly and Haunter with Aerial Ace. With Morty on his back foot, he sent out Gengar. Chad did some chip damage, but then was locked into battle by Gengar's mean look. He released Aerial Ace after Aerial Ace. Anytime Gengar got weak, he would either be healed by a berry or by Morty directly. Chad, the Pokemon who destroyed one of the most hated Miltanks in Pokemon, and the one who had swept through this entire gym so far, was taken from us by Gengar's Shadow Ball. Chomps came out and took down Gengar, but the death number was rising. With a heavy heart, I added Demon to the team, and we left Ecruteak. In Olivine City, we're told to find Jasmine at the top of a lighthouse. As we ascend to the top, we fall out and shatter every single bone in our body. Once we reach the top, Jasmine asks us to get medicine from Cianwood for her sick sheep. On my way there, I caught Inky the Tentacle and collected the medicine for Jasmine. Due to his lackluster performance so far, Demon was swapped out for Inky. Once again, this game is full of bangers. Up north, Suicune was sitting all alone until he got bothered by... Oh, not this dork. The level curve is weird in this game. Chuck's cap is 31 and the next gym leader, Jasmine, is 35. But after Jasmine is Price, whose cap is 34. So for Jasmine, I aim to be 33, 2 levels under. But that's the best I could do, okay? After interrupting his bath, it was time to fight Chuck. He led with his Primeape, and for whatever reason, it spammed Double Team and nearly took out half of my Pokemon. Once it went down, Chomps took out Poliwhirl, securing our 5th gym badge. With Fly now unlocked, we flew to Jasmine and gave Ampharos the medicine from Cianwood, and the gym trainers let me straight through to take on Jasmine. I forgot to hit record, but here's a dramatic recreation. I led with Tofu, who one-shot Magnemite. Jasmine then sent out Steelix, who none of my Pokemon could really do much against, so I sent out Muffin. After 2 surfs, Steelix's HP was in the red, and Muffin was ready to take Jasmine down. But Jasmine used a super potion and crit Muffin, who unfortunately died. Our first encounter. The one Pokemon besides Tofu who's been with us this whole time, gone. Tofu came out and got a lucky burn on Steelix, and flame wheeled it until it died. Tofu one-shot her other Magnemite, but the damage was already done. We beat the gym and lost one of our dearest friends. I added Magneto to the team and we left Olivine City. We made it to Mahogany Town, where Price's gym is. We took a look around and found a souvenir shop with a guy rambling about radio waves sending Pokemon crazy, but everyone in the town was talking about the mysterious Gyarados in the Lake of Rage. We ran up to the lake where we encountered shiny Gyarados and named him Cutie Pie, after the Gyarados from my Scarlet Nuzlocke, which you should watch by the way. Lance watched us catch Cutie Pie and told us to meet him in the aforementioned souvenir shop, where his Dragonite hyper-beamed a guy in the face. I'm not kidding, look, it's right here. Lance rushed into the Team Rocket hideout with me following close behind. We beat up all the grunts there and met Giovanni, Petrol, another Team Rocket executive. He was no trouble, but we needed his voice to unlock the door to shut off the radio waves. Luckily, a Murkrow was repeating the password, and after following it to the door, it opened. Lance and I fought off Ariana and a Team Rocket grunt, who went down with no problem. After shutting down Team Rocket's machine, we were ready to melt Price's Ice-type Pokemon. Going into Price's gym, you could see we had a stacked team. Almost everyone was fully evolved, but Price yapped on about being an old man and being the better trainer. So naturally, I decided to put him in a retirement home. He sent out Seal, and I set up Toxic Spikes with Inky. Fluffy came out and electrocuted Seal to death. Next up was Price's ace, Piloswine, so I responded with my ace, Tofu. Piloswine was poisoned upon entry, letting Tofu hit him with Flame Wheel, but the poison activated his Citrus Berry and... What? No way, he was about to evolve. Oh, fuck this guy. Genuinely. Oh, and he hyper potion. What a bitch. Maybe Price was the better trainer. No. That's not true. I sent out Inky and Fluffy, who surfed and discharged the rest of his team. But like Noodle, Chad, and Muffin before him, Tofu was taken from us too soon. My starter had died. The one Pokemon I was supposed to take care of. Gone. He didn't even get the chance to evolve. Actually, maybe that's a good thing. I made my way back to Goldenrod to pick up an Eevee I had missed, and with Tofu gone, there was an empty spot that needed to be filled. After picking up our newest team member, we get some new drip and infiltrate the radio tower. Inside, a woman tells us that the director of the company is on the 5th floor and is the only person capable of making it to the higher floors. Once we get there, it is revealed that, like Giovanni, Petrol has disguised himself as the director. After coughing nearly blows Mars up, we beat Petrol again and he gives us the keycard to save the director. After fighting hordes and hordes of grunts, we save the director who gives us the key to access more of the radio tower. We beat up Proton and Ariana with no issues, but get approached by the final executive, Archer, who we also mop the floor with. After Team Rocket disbands, we are able to go towards Blackthorn City. After struggling with the ice puzzles, we make it through the ice cave. The final gym is run by Claire, who uses dragon types, but I wasn't scared. We made it this far and weren't going to be scared off by a couple of Dratinis. Claire's Gyarados was no problem for Fluffy, and Mars took down her first Dragonair. Next up was Kingdra, who hit Fluff with a Hyper Beam, but with a few potions, it fell to poison. Her last Dragonair was no problem either. She refuses to accept her defeat and makes me talk to her grandpa. Inside the dragon's den, I catch Dratini, and Claire's grandpa asks me if I hate Pokemon, to which I answer no, and forces Claire to give me my final gym badge. Elm calls me up and tells me I have to visit him in New Barktown, where he hands me the Master Ball and tells me to fight the Kimono Girls back in Equitique. The fights against the Kimono Girls were going pretty well until... What the fuck? We haven't even made it to the Elite Four and have lost 4 great Pokemon and Noodle. After killing my favorite Magnemite, the Kimono Girls tell me to catch Lugia, so I make my way to Whirl Islands, walk up to Lugia, and Master Ball it in the face because I'm not trying to lose another Pokemon. With Charles on our team, we are able to challenge the Elite Four. On my way to Victory Road, I caught Pinky the Slowpoke and Moo Moo the Doduo, and accidentally killed a Rhyhorn with Phantom. I wasn't too worried about the Elite Four, but after leveling up my party, I knew I was ready. Will uses Psychic type Pokemon, which isn't great for me because half of my team is Poison. Lucky for me though, because Phantom was able to sweep his whole team. The same goes for Koga, as Charles had no issues as he took down Koga's Poison types and Bruno's Fighting types. I thought Karen was going to give me a hard time as I didn't have a hard counter like the last 3 members, so I led with Inky to set up Toxic Spikes, just in case. But I didn't need to worry, as Fluff took down her Umbreon, Phantom took out Gengar, Charles destroyed Houndoom, and Inky killed her Murkrow and Vileplume. It was time for my final challenge, Lance. Lance has a strong team of Gyarados, Aerodactyl, Charizard, and 3 illegal underleveled Dragonites. However, my team was perfectly crafted to beat him. I led with Fluff, who one-shot Gyarados, and Inky took down all 3 Dragonites. Aerodactyl was next, and I taught Charles Surf just in case Inky was too weak to battle. I sent him out, and... Not only did Rockside flinch, I also misclicked Surf instead of using a potion to heal Charles. Mars came out for the first time in the entire Elite Four run and finished Aerodactyl off. Fluff came face to face with Lance's Charizard, and for a final time, used Thunderbolt, and killed Charizard. And just like that, we became the Indigo Plateau champion. There was only one more trainer I wanted to be, and his name is Red. But this video is already way too long, so please like and subscribe. Goodbye.